Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Nintendo News. Now this brand new show made by me is a show that delivers all the Nintendo based news that's happening now. I'll be talking about new games, new hardware, important events, announcements and loads more. So everything you need to know about Nintendo is here. Well, now we've got all that over with, time to talk about the news. Our first topic is probably obvious to most of you. It's the release of the Nintendo 3DS. On the night before its release, the 3DS had already attracted over 140,000 pre-orders, and that's only in the UK alone, suggesting that it was well on course to beat the Wii's 100,000 opening day record. This means that at least 27,000 pre-orders failed to translate into sales. UK marketing manager James Holloway said last week that the company expected to sell comfortably over 150,000, if not more like 200,000, but that's obviously wrong. Debate is still up over what went wrong. Some people believe that the iPad 2 had something to do with it, because it was released on the same day as the Nintendo 3DS here in Europe. Anyway, moving away from the actual sale of the 3DSs, let's talk more about the games. 15 games were sold for the Nintendo 3DS on its launch day. They were Pilotwings Resort, Nintendogs and Cats, Golden Retriever, French Bulldog and Toy Poodle, Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition, The Sims 3, PES 2011 3D, Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, Ridge Racer 3D, Super Monkey Ball 3D, Samurai Warriors Chronicles, Assault 3D, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Shadow Wars and Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 3D, and finally Rayman 3D. I must admit, this isn't the best launch title lineup I've ever seen. Things like Pilotwings and Super Street Fighter are good, but I mean, some of them are just rubbish. Like for example, there are 3 Nintendogs and Cats games. Isn't one enough? Don't get me wrong, I like all these games, and I really like Nintendogs and Cats, but there was no kind of like staple Nintendo character like there should have been to push the launch title forward. I know there are upcoming games like Mario Kart 3DS, Kid Icarus Uprising and Ocarina of Time, but there should have been one from the start, from the 25th of March. Anyway, moving away from the Nintendo 3DS, there are other things that have happened with Nintendo recently. In only 12 days' time, the Conduit 2 will be released onto Wii's on the 22nd of April. As well as that, titles like Ocarmageddon and WWE All-Stars have been released recently, and they're all selling well. So that concludes the first episode of Nintendo News. Hope you've enjoyed it. Come back next week for more news. And also, I've just got a Nintendo 3DS. I love it. It's amazing. But here's my friend code in case you want it. 287895792039. I'll put it in the description below. I need friends on my 3DS.